I love my brides, but man, you guys be doing the most and actually starting off on the wrong way of creating and developing and designing your wedding. It's not about Pinterest photos. It's not about having beautiful flowers and maybe a dress. These are all beautiful details that tell a story, but that's actually not what we want to do. And what we really want to do is create a beautiful story that is continued throughout the entire wedding design. And today for our Sagittarius Venus brides, that story is called The Great Adventure. Not because she loves to travel, not because she doesn't like standing still. This is literally about expansion, discovery, joy, and choosing something bigger that you didn't really know you needed before. So first up, we're going to be talking about the venue. One thing I want to preface and say is that for my bride, I absolutely would not want her to have anything that would have a ballroom, windows, closed doors. We want to breathe. We want to expand. We want to move. We want to move freely without the venue. So to think a little bit different in that mindset, I really want us to take a look at the Italian countryside villas. We can even do a vineyard at a wine country, maybe a cliff looking over a beautiful scenery, desert resort, mountain retreat, somewhere where your guests are going to be, what are we getting ourselves into? This already is expansive and huge. I had no idea. That's exactly what we want to do when our guests are coming in. Now, the wedding colors, this is something that I think is going to be feeling more connected with the travels. So specifically where we're at, the colors are just going to be amplified. And the reason why I say this is because we're going to be choosing colors that can be used in different scenarios. So think warm ivory, champagne, terracotta, golden honey, olive green, maybe some touches of turquoise. These are the same colors we talked about in the bridal identity, so this shouldn't be any surprise. So the flowers themselves should not be looking overly dressed up. They should feel like they belong there. They should feel like they're a part of the natural environment. Think loose roses, maybe some olive branches. And honestly, any type of seasonal bloom would also amplify the energy as well. Again, the environment is important, but we want things that are going to be simplified to elevate it, not to overexpand it with so much things going on with the floor arrangements. And here is where I'm like uber excited because now we get to talk about the guest journey. And I feel like the guest journey is what actually amplifies you as the bride and also the groom. So boom, think about this. As soon as they arrive at the hotel, they're getting some type of drink, some type of welcome, something that's really culturally based so that they know what they're about to get themselves into to really enjoy on this weekend as you're celebrating your wedding. After they got settled in, we now have some type of cocktail hour. And this cocktail hour actually helps them to explore some different types of activations so people can get to know the couple a little bit more better. This allows more room, more expansion, more exploring around the space instead of being a standalone area where we're getting together to celebrate the bride and groom. So now that we got the guest flow out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the cocktails. Every single drink that we are doing for the party should become of the extension. So every drink that they have becomes a part of the story. Citrus or maybe some rosemary, passion fruit cocktail, maybe some type of botanical spritzer. Every sip that the guest takes them onto a new level or a new journey within the whole wedding experience. So now that we got the drinks, can we dive into the food? Because as you know, as we are traveling, we're going to be having more decadent things that we would here in the United States. So food should feel really discovery, fresh handmade pasta, maybe some seasonal vegetables, some wood fire entree, things that could be shared because again, we want the conversation to be extended within the family. Also, in addition to this, your guests are going to be eating late. Of course, we would have late night snacks. Now, these snacks are just to add the hospitality aspect. Tablescape and the lighting are probably one of the best ways that you can amplify your whole wedding design without it going too crazy. So think about it in ways of transforming the space from one to another on an easy way because it is very easy to do. Because you could have a golden hour ceremony, candlelight tables in the back, not to mention having some natural linen, maybe some stoneware instead. When your guests think back of your wedding, don't want them to remember the timeline. I want them to remember how they felt during the whole ceremony and reception. Them saying things like, I never want this night to end. This is so great. Everyone's here. The food's amazing. The music's on par. Look at the bride and groom. I'm having so much fun. I am literally designing and curating wedding and events specifically for that feeling alone. Sagittarius Venus Bride isn't at all about traditional things. She needs to feel expansive within the day that's gonna make her a new missive. Because every detail is a reflection of who she's becoming. And your wedding doesn't stop just because of an event. It literally becomes the first chapter of your marriage. And that to me is so sacred. This is how I would exactly approach your wedding design, not by copying any trends, but by translating your energy into actual transparency. And that transparency provides an experience that your guests, including you, don't ever forget. If you're planning your wedding or any type of event and you need some support, you already know what you need to do, because there's no better time than the present to really start reflecting and planning out your dream event that you deserve having.